Hola, welcome to Football Brehz. My name is Ben and I'll be your host for today. This is the platform where we debate, banter, everything football. Back with us, we have Dwayne, Liverpool Breh. We have Alex, Chelsea Breh. How you doing, guys? You good?
All good, brother. Thanks for having me.
Good. Hey, I see you got the black top out, yeah? Dwayne, jeez.
It needed to be. I had to have the red before, you know what I mean? Got the black today, you know.
Man, they're both gone for black and I've gone for white. I must have missed the memo here. That's so good. That's so good. Right. So, lads, today's topic, and I love these topics when we have them. Who is the best performing player out of the top 6 clubs so far? So, in the top 6 right now, we have City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, and West Ham. Out of those teams, I don't even know how Arsenal is up there. I really don't know, but it is what it is. I'm going to have to deal with it. Out of these top 6 teams so far, halfway through the season, I want you to give me one player from each team that you feel has been the best performing player for them. All right? So I'm going to throw some names out there for you guys and see what you say. So let's start with bottom. Let's work our way up. So West Ham. We've had the likes of Rice. We've had the likes of Fornals. We've had the likes of Bowen. We've had the likes of Souček. You know, all these guys that have been, performing day in, day out for this club. And let's be honest, West Ham were 3rd or 2nd at one point, weren't they? I think it's 3rd or 4th. So they've been doing all right. What's your thoughts? Let's start with you, Alex.
I think you named some really, really noteworthy players there and stuff, but I think that a good team always starts from its base. So it's important, I think, to mention players like Kurt Zouma, for example.
He's been brilliant this season.
I know he's been really good. Obviously he's very well trained from a very good background and stuff. So he was
hit with an injury, unfortunately, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. It's hard to imagine, West Ham understanding that kind of level of excellence without someone with that level of experience, in amongst the team.
Is there a bit of bias I sense there?
He's got to be mentioning that,
I'm still shocked Chelsea sold him. I'm shocked. I think he's quality.
Yeah.
I think Zouma is absolutely quality. I've rated him for years. And to be honest, I think he's took West Ham up a level by being there, to be honest. I think defensively, they look absolutely solid with him in there. And since he's actually been out of the side with the injury, they've not looked the same. They don't look like the club that's going to be competing for the top 4 right now. Even though they've played a few good games every now and again, but since he's been out, they don't look like a team that's challenging for top 4.
I wonder if that is what we told him, though, because he has been quite injury prone. And I think that, obviously he had that really bad knee injury a couple of years ago. Yeah. I think that I think he's the kind of person who has never fully recovered from that, and that he's obviously going to have that career where he's always battling with injuries and always battling with his fitness to play at the level he wants to play. So I don't know if we capitalized on an opportunity to get a good bit of money for him when we could, but. Yeah, I do agree with you. I think it might sting us in the future, the fact that because he's still quite a young player as well, isn't he?
Because you still had him on a good length of the contract, right?
Yeah, well, did we? I could be wrong here, but didn't we loan him at first, and then it moved to a sale, or was it a straight sale? I can't even remember.
No, it was a loan last season. It was a loan, and then it became a sale over the summer.
Yeah, I thought that was the case. So, yeah.
So right, so but
wasn't there loan last season?
What was that, Dwayne?
West Ham last season.
He was there second half of last season. I think he went there January last year.
Second half, okay.
Yeah. Right, but who is it though? Who at West Ham is the top of the top, the creme de la creme that makes a difference day in, day out for that team?
I'm not taking my first answer.
I'm gonna
No, I took your first answer, Alex. I'm going for Dwayne now.
I'm gonna confess and say this. Look, when Liverpool were linked to this guy last season, I was thinking this has got to be bad. I can't believe we're linked to this guy. No, I'm not impressed. No. But I've been keeping an eye on him ever since we've been linked to him. And I've been very impressed. My choice is Jared Bowen. I think he's been...
Bowen.
Yeah, 3 goals and 7 assists this season. And he's been consistent. I think he's played every game. He's a nuisance. And I think, to me, I see him as he's similar to Jota, the way his movement is and the way he gets about the pitch. I think he's quality, you know. I think he's absolutely quality, and I think he's been very, very good for West Ham this season. But it was close. That's true. It was a close call. It would have been Zuma, but because now he's missed the last few games of injury, I've got to select Jared Bowen.
So we got Bowen from Dwayne. And Alex, you sure you're sticking with Zuma, yeah? You're sticking with Zuma?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Zuma. I'll give Antonio a special mention, though, because I do think that
he's been good.
Every like West Ham have had a lot of good players that we can mention here, but I think that
then Rice has been quality.
Yeah, I think Antonio is the sort of player that a lot of teams like yearn for, and like them having him is potentially the difference between sort of like Everton and their situation, or some of Leicester's struggles this year where Vardy hasn't quite sort of put up the numbers he's done in the past. You know, if you don't have that kind of firepower up front, it can sting you. So I do think that potentially this is a bit of a crude way of saying it, but almost like a lot of the other names are arguably replaceable with someone else from somewhere else. But I think not many clubs have got an Antonio, which is potentially one of the reasons why they're where they are, you know. So yeah, definitely special mention to that guy, you know.
Yeah, Ben Rama as well has played absolutely quality as well. Fornals, their side has played really, really well, really well. But it's just I think Zuma and Bowen have been the ones that kind of just stood out just that little bit more than the rest. Rice though has been quality. He has been absolutely quality.
I was gonna say Rice. I mean, obviously, it's clear from what we're saying, West Ham have a lot of quality players. But going by what Alex said, you know, who is it really that can't be replaced? Or if it is replaced, it will take a very long time for the club to sort of gel back well together. I think when you think about that and you think about the role that Rice plays in that midfield and him being the leader as well, and I think a lot of it as well, the mood with the players as well, from the changing rooms, I don't know if you guys have seen some of it, you always find that Rice is that guy that gets the mood in the right level, whether it's before game or after game. And I think as a leader, that shows. For me personally, I thought Rice is the guy. I thought whenever they're missing Rice, they're missing something. They're missing that little bit of chemistry, a little bit of connection on the pitch and off the pitch. But some good shouts there for, you know, Antonio.
I agree with you on that, but I do feel that his partnership with Souček has made him a bit more better. I think Souček doesn't really get the respect he deserves. So I feel that ever since he's got to West Ham, I think Rice has stepped up an extra level. I think they're a great double pivot together. They work really, really well together. And Souček has to get special mention if Rice is in that discussion too, because they're a good partnership.
Fair enough. I agree. But leave this to the voters. Guys watching this, let us know right now. West Ham, who is it? Is it Rice? Is it Souček? Is it Bowen? Is it man like Kurt Zuma? Or is it Antonio? Comment below. Let us know. We will interact back. Right, next. This team, man. Arsenal. So, names that have been brought up. Ramsdale, Saka, Smith-Rowe, and recently Martinelli.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Dwayne, let's start with you.
Standout performer for me has been Ramsdale. And that's easy. I think when they signed him, there was a lot of banter going on. Because I mean, the last few clubs he's been relegated, I think the last 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
So there was a lot of laughs going on. But ever since he's got into the side, the saves I've seen him pull off have been absolutely amazing. He's been really, really good. To the point where I think he needs to get ahead of Pickford for England. To be honest with you, I see more goalkeeping ability. He's good with his feet as well, much better than Pickford. Plus, they just look more solid in the back, Arsenal, since he's gone in. Leno looked a bit shaky, even though I do think he's a good shot stopper. But I feel like Ramsdale's been more of a calming influence.
Interesting. Alex, what do you think? Do you agree with Dwayne there, Ramsdale?
Yeah, I'm glad you listed some names out, because I'll be honest, I'm like, who even plays for Arsenal these days? Like, who's even... No, seriously though, like at the start of the season, when we did a talk about transfers and stuff, I said to all the Brehz that were on that time, I was like, yo, Arsenal just spent 130 million, just short of. Can anybody tell me who they spent it on? And like, there was just silence, like there was just Spurs. I was like, you're an Arsenal fan here, and you can't even tell me who you spent that money on and stuff. Like, it's Arsenal, weird team these days, aren't they? But yeah,
give it to them. They're getting the performances, Yeah. They're up there.
It's like, how, isn't it? Do you know what? Right now, Arsenal are like that dude who got the girl, and you're like, what? Where did he come from? Like, you know what I mean? Like how are they there? Like,
yeah. I totally forgot who hasn't been mentioned. The Arsenal right back. He's actually been all right. Japanese
right back
player.
Oh, Tomiyasu or something like that. Tomiyasu. Is that the one you're talking about?
No idea.
You man are savage, right? Tomiyasu, yeah. They signed him over the summer, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, Tomiyasu, yeah.
The thing is, for me, with
actually
Arsenal,
been quite good. He's to the point where Belherin's not even getting a look in. He does even get a look in, and I think he played. I think one game in the League Cup. I think that's the only time I've seen him. But other than that, Tomiyasu's been solid since he stepped in. Because I know there was also the Sky Sports presenter. He was saying apparently agents said they don't even know where he actually plays. Apparently he might be the centre back or he's a midfielder. They don't know where his position actually is. So, but now since he's been right back, he's been solid. He's actually put in decent performances.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, Alex, I need a name, bro. Come on.
Coming in. Man, I didn't even know who to give you. I'm just having a little look at their squad right now, being like,
okay.
For me, I'll give it to Odegaard. I think when I've seen him and he's played well, he's impressed me a lot. I think for me, the reason why it's difficult to say an Arsenal player is that I don't think anybody's had any real consistency, and there's no real standout excellent player there. But I almost feel like every time I watch Arsenal, there's a different player who's on form this day, or like, someone has 2 good games and someone else has 2 good games. And do you know what I mean? Like there's nobody that's really kind of shone throughout the season so far, but it's almost like, every dog has had their day at some point throughout the season, which has gotten where they are, I guess, but it's probably hard to call out someone as it. For me, I've enjoyed Odegaard when I've seen him play well.
Cool. For me, I agree with Dwayne on Ramsdale. I recognize Odegaard and what he's done. He's made some differences, but I think if you think about from the start of the season when Arsenal were falling apart to now, the one person that I think has been critical and has probably saved Arsenal a lot of times has been Ramsdale. With these saves, I think he's been amazing. I think he's got 55 amazing saves this season alone, 9 clean sheets. So I think he's done all right. And considering that they let Martinez go, and I was like, why are you letting Martinez go? I think he's come in and he's proved himself. So I'll go with Ramsdale. Right. Next turn up. Hey, Manchester United. These men spent money in the summer. All right, these men spent money. Let's be real about it. But who is it? I mean, I got 2 names. I only got 2 names from most of the Brehz. Okay, I got David De Gea and I got CR7. I didn't get anyone else. I didn't get Pogba. I didn't get no one else. What do you
Do you know
think?
what's crazy about Pogba?
Yeah.
I swear he's literally not that. I swear he's quite high on the assists, but isn't that just from the first game?
Yeah.
Against Leeds.
Yeah.
That's why he's still high up.
Other
than that, he's not done anything else.
Nothing. He's not been about. But I know Alex is itching to say something. Go on, Alex.
Well, I was going to say that like it has to be De Gea, doesn't it? Like I don't know the stat on it, but like where would Man United be in the league right now if it wasn't for the number of saves that he's pulled off? Is he leading the league in saves at the moment, or at least he's quite high up, isn't he? But
over all the keepers? No, it's Alisson.
Okay.
No, sorry, not Alisson. Manchester City player. What's his name? Edison leads on saves.
But he's
more saves?
Yeah.
Really?
No. Clean sheets it's City. Saves, surprisingly, it's Leeds goalkeeper. He's got the most saves. Yeah.
Wow.
But surprisingly. But he's also considered the most goals, Leeds goalkeeper. It's weird.
Because I think Edison, I mean, he's barely faced any shots, to be honest with you. So.
Yeah. But like you gotta obviously United have been shaky as hell, and like where would they be without him? Like everyone keeps saying about how good he's been recently and stuff, and it's like, well, to a degree, like he's like people don't talk about Edison because he is good, but they don't have to rely on him, do they? Like he's not that good. Like we said, like we all know he's a great keeper, but no one talks about him because the rest of the team are so good that he's relatively quiet throughout the games and stuff. Whereas De Gea is like carrying that team through a couple of sloppy performances and stuff, aren't they? For me, I don't know how you can justify putting Ronaldo in that conversation. Like, the only because has he actually performed well this season? Because yes, okay, he's one of the best players in the world, and I'm not gonna entertain that argument because we all know he is. But has he really like lived up to that?
But at his age, let's take consideration his age and take consideration what he's brought to do. I think that he's at critical times when United really need that one goal to either win or to even be, get a draw. Ronaldo's been the one that stepped up and scored that crucial goal in the last minute or the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I don't buy into that stuff because like it's not like he comes in the last 5 minutes and scores in the last 5 minutes. He's on the pitch for ages and then scores at the last minute. Like, dude, if you were that good, why didn't you score 15 minutes ago? Like, it's just.
So you don't think 7 goals so far is enough?
Nah, not that. It's like
he's won them a few games. He's won them a few games.
He definitely has. It's been a lot of. It's a lot of last minute stuff, isn't it? And I just think that's almost like circumstantially, like it's not like he's like, oh, I'm going to score at the last minute just so that like I can make some headlines or whatever and stuff in it. It's like, well, like, dude, you've been on for half an hour. Like, why is it taking you half an hour to score? Why didn't you score that goal earlier and stuff? And like, there's been plenty of games where he was needed to step up and like, if he is this guy, why is he not doing it in this game here or that game there and stuff? Like he was missing in yesterday's game. You just think like,
Fair enough. Dwayne, who's your man for United?
I selected Ronaldo. I felt at the beginning of the season, I don't think he started that well beginning of the season. I think he's kind of like grown into it. Probably the last 6-7 games, you started to see a bit more of his quality shining. But I said Ronaldo because he has made an impact since he come in. I didn't think he was going to actually do well at all. That's just me being brutally honest. I thought it was going to be a bit too physical for him, but he's done well. He's won United quite a few games, and considering some of the young talents that are actually there, he has actually outshone them, which is quite alarming because I was expecting. I don't think Greenwood's done well this season. There was a lot of talk of him being a wonder kid this season. I don't think he has been. I think he's really dropped off, and I can see why he's getting subbed a lot now because he's not working hard enough. He looks like a very lazy player, and for someone who's quite new to the team. You expect so much more. Rashford's not been good. Cavani. The thing is with the age, the reason why I agree with Alex on certain points when it comes to age, I don't think it should be an excuse because Tiago Silva, mate. Bruv.
All right. Before we move on to other teams, all right, cool. No,
all I'm saying is we'll get to Tiago Silva, but I'm just gonna say when it comes to age, should be no excuses. I'm just gonna say this Tiago Silva. All right, that's all I'm saying. But Ronaldo to me has done well. I think he has stood out compared to most of the other players that are there because of the games he has won, or games that he's managed to get an equaliser to kind of save United's blushes. So that's why I slipped Ronaldo to here.
Cool. Interesting. To be honest with you, I couldn't pick between the two, De Gea and CR7, because I think they both played their part in saving United or helping United gain that extra point or those extra 2 points. I think they both played a part. As much as CR7 played a part in scoring that last minute winner, De Gea played a part in making that last ditch save. Having 60 saves is quite nice, and I think he's also got a couple of penalty saves as well. So I think, and he's not been making as many errors as he did last season. I think he only had made one major error that led to a goal, but the rest he's been pretty good. So I couldn't.
Aren't they?
Huh?
Everyone else is making the errors instead. That's what it is, isn't it? So
yeah.
So I couldn't pick either. But let us know in the comments below. Who is it? Is it CR7 or is it De Gea? Who's your man? Right. Next, Liverpool FC. We had Virgil van Dijk. We had Salah. We had Trent. I'll start with you, Dwayne, as the Liverpool man. Is it one of those names or is it another name that's not mentioned in there?
He's been frustrating me lately in the last few games, but as a whole, I have to give it to Salah. He has actually impressed me this season. Still a bit lazy at times in the last couple games, but that's what I say, it's the last couple games. But to me, standout-wise, it has been Salah, and that's easy. I feel Virgil has done well since returning back from his injury. He looks solid, and I think where I felt I saw him at his best was the West Ham game, where he kind of was one-on-ones with Bowen, with Antonio, and you saw the best of Virgil in those particular games. You saw that he's back against Lukaku as well. He looks solid. Trent's played well, but again, there's times where he just makes a few sloppy decisions or he doesn't work hard enough to get back into the defensive line. I was quite disappointed in the goal we conceded last night. I just didn't feel that he tried to burst the gut to get back. But my choice is Salah. Quality, amount of goals, the assists he's done. Even his dribbling ability, he's got much better this season. Like I didn't think he was that much of a great dribbler, but this season he's been impressive and he's worked on his weaknesses. And yeah, he's my standout guy this season.
Fair enough. Alex, do you agree with Dwayne, or do you think there is someone else?
You can't really argue that, can you? I mean, how many games has it been where he's scored consecutively? It's an incredible stat, that, isn't it? Just like we've just been debating about over Ronaldo and De Gea, but like Salah's done
16 games of goals and assist contributions.
So if you add De Gea's saves and Ronaldo's goals, he's well overdone both of those, hasn't he? If we're going to have that kind of conversation, like he's been the biggest factor for Liverpool, hasn't he? And stuff. He's been arguably the most reliable player in the entire league, and he's got Liverpool through more games than any other player's got anyone through in the league so far this season, hasn't he? So it's not really up for. There's not a lot to debate with that, really. I think Jota's impressed me a lot. I think if I was going to throw another name in there, I think Jota's impressed me a lot. And the thing that you run the risk of is that, like, when you have a player like Salah, obviously everyone's going to be like, okay, tactically we just need to stop him, and so on and so forth. So if you do just rely so much on one player, that's it's always going to find you getting unstuck at some point, isn't it? So, you know, I don't know if his prowess has allowed Jota to have more space and have the ability to shine a bit more, or whether he's kind of stepping up to the sort of the standards that Salah's leaving him. But you know, I do think that he's definitely someone that's worth a shout for what he's contributed to the team this season. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think there's any argument about Salah, you know, being most goals scored, top assists, most shots, most chances created. I think you can't argue with that. He's been phenomenal, and he's scored some banging goals. I mean, we can't argue with that. So yeah, no worries. Moving on. Hey, Chelsea. Right. So names that came up: Rudiger, Tiago Silva, even Dwayne mentioned him earlier. Mendy and Reece James. There's some of the names that came up. Let's start with Alex. What's your thoughts? Who is it? Who's the star man for you?
I think all of those names are really valid, aren't they? It feels weird not mentioning Mason Mount in that equation, but obviously he's had quite a slow start to the season, hasn't he? I think he's been brilliant for the last couple of games, but he pretty much hasn't really. It's almost like his season didn't really get going until December, was it? With you know, injuries and illnesses and things like that and stuff. But he's another one that I think should be added to that equation. I'm sure when we have this chat at the end of the season, he's going to be there. If he stays out of injury and illness. But yeah, Silva's been incredible when he's had his moments and he's had his days. He's been sort of like he's a player that you can just watch for 90 minutes and be like, wow. You know, when he's had his good games, he's definitely been unreal, which has been really good. Mendy's obviously had a great clean sheet record as well, which it's a shame to see that's sort of been affected at the moment. And I think that's kind of the test for him really is, you know, how does he get back to that kind of form, or how does he react to falling out of that consistency, you know, because that's something we haven't seen from him yet, have we?
Is it a mental issue? Is it a confidence issue? Do you think his confidence has been hit with those couple errors that he's had?
It's difficult to know because it almost seems like it's the problem within the Chelsea culture. For me, what's happening to us right now is what's been happening for years. And I do think the Chelsea culture is that when things are going great, they're going really well. But when they almost get so used to winning when they go on these good streaks that when something of that gets broken, they don't have there's something culturally wrong within the club in terms of like, how do we get back out of this? You know, it always seems quite a drawn out affair to get back to winning ways, because we all know that when Chelsea are good, they're really, really good, and they have the ability to maintain that consistency for a long time. But we don't seem to be able to, like, you know, take a bad game on the chin and come back fighting the next game. It's always drawn out into a few games and stuff. So, but it's weird. It's weird to see, you know, like Mendy, someone who hasn't been at Chelsea for a long time, really to be influenced by that. And I don't think it's him. I think it is a kind of a whole club thing to a degree. And it's been for years. So it's been through several managers. It's been through loads of players. So it's a very strange thing to try and figure out and understand, you know.
So who's your man then? Is it Tiago?
No, for me, I think it's Rudiger.
Rudiger. Yeah. Will he get another contract? Hey, we don't.
Hard to tell, isn't it? It's not looking positive at the moment. But I think that for me, Rudiger is clearly the character, the personality in the team. He's clearly the person in the dressing room. He's clearly the person like snapping everyone's heels and stuff, the person who's making people put in the work. He's the guy who is making the good times roll. You know, he's the personality and the character, which you see on the pitch. You know, you see how animated he is, you see how driven he is, and I think that he has spurred on so many other players, because, you know, there's a nice long list of good players that you can say for Chelsea, and I think that he has a good effect on all of those. You know, and I think it's his energy that brings the team up, you know.
Cool. Dwayne. I assume your man is going to be Tiago Silva because you were praising him before we even started talking about him.
Yeah, I think he's been absolutely class. And even when I look at the Chelsea defense, I don't think it looks organized without him being there. He's the one who's the command. He's the commander. He leads them, and he's brilliant. He's brilliant, and it's kind of sad though when you see someone of his ability that's come to the Premier League very late in his career. I feel he probably should have come a bit sooner, but I understand you was at AC Milan, you've gone to PSG, they're paying you crazy amounts of money, but he's someone that has got even better everywhere he's gone. You know, you've looked at other players that have not done well when they've come from the French league. Now, Silva has shown his quality consistently everywhere he's gone, and I think he's been brilliant this season. Every time I've seen him play this season, he's not put a foot wrong. And like I said, I felt that Chelsea, when he's there in the side, all the other defenders, their games all step up because he's the commander. He knows what he's doing, and I just think he's been brilliant, bro.
That was going to be my point. You made a very good point because I agree. Rudiger has also been phenomenal this season.
Yeah,
I think he's got quite a few assists, but I feel like Rudiger is allowed to have that level of confidence to go forward to do what he's doing because he has Tiago by his side. I think you see a completely different side of Rudiger when he doesn't have Tiago, and I think that just shows the level of confidence and calmness and control that Tiago brings to the whole defense and the whole squad as a whole.
Yeah,
I think
even I've seen Chalobah come in, and I thought, I don't know about these new young defenders coming in because you've just got rid of Zoom and you got Chalobah. But even Chalobah looks brilliant because he's learning from someone of Tiago Silva's quality. When you've got that type of player around that knows what he's doing, that can lead you, that raises your level. And that's why you look at Chalobah now, and it's just like, that's Chelsea don't even need to look at getting defenders. Chalobah's looking like one for the future right now, but he's learning from one of the greatest. So that's right. Silva's he's just been standing out when it comes to as a defender.
You know what? What I'm also mad about is the fact that Chelsea got a great deal on Thiago Mendy as well because it's free transfer. So great bit of business. Right. Finally, Manchester City. These guys just seem unstoppable at the moment. Even now they're 1-0 ahead against Brentford, but it's expected. But these guys just seem unstoppable. They didn't have a striker. Everyone was questioning why they don't have a striker, whether they're going to be getting the goals. They have, and pretty much a lot of them are great. I mean, the names are endless. We have Bernardo Silva, we have Cancelo, we have Rodri, we have Mahrez, we have Diaz, we have Jesus, we have KDB. I mean, all these guys have leveled up this season.
Grealish?
Who is
Grealish?
No, not Grealish. Let's let Grealish chill for a second. And let's leave him. He needs a 100 mil time. But you mentioned Grealish, Dwayne. Let's go with you. Who at City is, because they're stars. They're all stars. But who really is really up there a little bit?
I chose Bernardo Silva. He looks different sauce this season to the point where every time I've seen him on the ball, I've not seen him lose the ball. His dribbling ability has been amazing. The goals contribution he's done, his assists, I just feel that he's been stand out. Because there was a point, I think, beginning of the season, I remember there was rumours saying he wanted to go to Barcelona. So that's why it was a bit of a shock seeing Ferran Torres going, because I remember seeing the rumour it was Bernardo Silva that wanted to leave. He wasn't happy being in England. And I think Guardiola touched on that. This season, though, Bernardo Silva's been getting more game time. He just looks absolutely quality. City, they're not missing David Silva because Bernardo Silva's completely stepped into that spot.
Really stepped up. Yeah,
he stepped in a spot. So
I was going to say that because I felt that while David Silva was there, David Silva was amazing. Like, no one could question that. But I think that kind of shadowed Bernardo Silva's performance a little bit, didn't it? And now that he's center, he's center now and he's gone, he's just shown his capability. He's shown his quality in that. Alex, do you agree, or is there someone else for you?
Yeah, no, I think I agree with Silva as well. I think that in a squad as deep as City with so much excellence, you have to prove yourself to Pep every week if you want to be playing. You know, if you step your foot off the gas, there's 3 other guys that are as good as you, like ready and waiting, aren't you? And Silva has just come out and gone, no, I am the guy. You know, I am this good and I deserve this place. You know, just like you guys have already said. Yeah, he's definitely been excellent for them, and I think he's been sort of the most consistent, really.
Yeah, good. I'm glad we can agree on something. Good. Well, that's it. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, both of you. Thank you, Dave, Dwayne. Thank you, Alex. Guys, watching this, give us your comments below. Who has been your star performance so far this season within the top 6? And if the top 6 change, let me know, because I know Spurs is going to get in there in the top 6. So when they do, drop some Spurs.
I thought you was gonna throw in a question on Spurs.
Nah, not gonna do that. But
I respect that.
But on that note, though, there've been some special mentions that are not in the top 6. There've been some special mentions. Dennis from Watford, Callum Wilson from Newcastle, Sam Maximum from Newcastle, Rafinha, Leeds. I think he's going now. He's probably not going to even stick around anymore because his quality is that great. Gallagher, Lucas Moura.
Gallagher at Palace has been absolutely brilliant for him. Chelsea's, bruv, their youth team is shining through right now. I have to admit. It's a problem. When you look at that type of amount of play, because they got Gilmore as well. I felt for him. I saw the chance for him yesterday. That was unfair for a young kid to get that type of abuse. But once he starts getting more game time and he'll get some games to Chelsea, their future's looking really good at Chelsea. Really good.
But this has been Chelsea for the longest time, though, hasn't it? Why are we acting surprised? You know, these guys, I think, have been right up there in terms of academy and youth players growing in. But yeah, guys, stop drinking. You know what? On that note, listen, Alex's head is growing. All right, let's stop there. It's done. Let's go, guys. Comment, like, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. Stay in touch. We're gonna be back again with another topic. For now, I've been Ben, Dwayne, Alex. Thank you for your time. Good evening.